It's going to be Henry G and Sadakis in a triumphant return here at StarSeries Season 5.
Reasonable.
Couldn't leave it alone, could he?
He couldn't. I've made actually a new deal with myself. I'm going to cast based on how much battery I have left in my phone. And coincidentally, I have 69%, so we'll be a little above average today.
Perfect. That's a meal for two if I've ever heard one. Anyway, let's get into this one. It's going to be Cash to kick things off. NRG versus Liquid. I think Sean is absolutely right. The map veto has gone very well for the underdogs here. They're a hard-hitting team. It's going to be a pretty hard-hitting map to kick things off. Cash was called the New Dust 2 for a while, but obviously that's back in the pool, but still has those same sort of variables. It's very dynamic and freestyle, I would say.
Yeah, and just on a personal note, obviously I haven't seen Dust 2 because that was during the time off, and I'm excited to see it. I think it changes a lot for teams bringing that back in and getting rid of a map like Cobble. But yeah, going on to Cash first, a lot of availability. You've always talked about it, especially CT side. If you are a team that wants to be in your face, it gives you that option. And I think that's why certain teams don't like it at all. You can go back to MSL and his leadership. He's always tried to avoid it for a long period of time. Look, I have to favor Liquid in this. There's no question about it. I have not in person seen them with Taco as of yet, but obviously a solid addition. I'm not a huge fan of SK not being all Brazilian just because I used to love that it was, the Brazilian team.
To be fair, this is the best looking Taco we've seen. He actually has
that's what you need.
Well, exactly. He looked like he can actually keep up with a world-class fragging level at this point. It's actually impressive to see how he's changed.
I think there's two things to go with that. One is getting cut from a team is going to motivate you.
Yeah.
And we talk about, motivation, more motivated than ever, buzzwords. But two is also freeing him up from a role. And it was a bit of a scapegoat to blame Taco a lot of the time, but there's no question that he was in roles where he had a large responsibility to be first into sites, where he was trying to be traded off of. He was almost, bait at times, not intentionally, but it was bait for his teammates on entry. And that responsibility, now that he's kind of freed from that a bit, I think you're right. He probably is better off for it. And there's lots of, look, I'll give you an example of players that were underrated at being given a better chance and a better opportunity from a different sports analogy. The Vegas Golden Knights are starting their Stanley Cup debut tonight in the final. They're a team that didn't exist last year. They're all bottom 6 players off other teams. As soon as you put them in an opportunity where they can shine, boom, they're all superstars.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think they're the first ever team to do that, aren't they?
Second, the St. Louis Blues did it in 69 or 68, but that was when basically the Western Conference was expansion teams. So
that was 1950.
And I think they did it 3 years in a row. Was it?
I think it was.
1950.
I listened to a podcast on it recently. Yeah. It kind of came up.
Yeah, it could have been. I thought it was in the 60s, but you're probably right. You know what? I think it might have been. Yeah.
Contribute.
Yeah. I mean, look, anyway, that's a whole different topic, but it is a good example of, Marcia So coming over from a different team. William Karlsson, same thing. It's the same in CS. Sometimes you get a player that was not exactly in a prime position or didn't give himself, or whether the in-game leader didn't give that person a chance to really use their skill set to their advantage. It certainly hinders them in that regard.
Well, here we go.
I would say even more so in CS2 because you have 5 players that you're not playing the same position as someone else on a different shift. You're stuck in the server playing that role the whole time. It's not like you can swap in and out.
Well, as Trace pointed out, it's very important to see who won the knife round. We can confirm that NRG is starting on the CT side, Liquid on the T side here. It is considered slightly terrorist-sided these days, only very slightly, maybe like 5 or 10% either way. So I don't think that'll be a massive issue here. Liquid starting on the T side, though, I think Sean pointed out that these guys do have slow starts, especially coming over to Europe. But they have been here boot camping in Amsterdam, I believe. So they're not going to be jet lagged or anything. They are going to be ready in match form, ready to go. I think they've been here for a couple of days now, just kind of warming up. Obviously, got great facilities here at Starlight. You get your own hotel room. We even got to try one out last event. It's actually very cool. You get to be in the hotel, practice, and I'm sure both of these teams are ready to go. NRG just got a new coach, I'm a Pets, obviously replacing Imi, who is the coach over in Sydney. He's now departed. And interested to see what NRG can do here. The one key factor I want to discuss is Cirque. You might not have cast him just yet, but he is a Bulgarian player who's the AWP superstar.
I'm familiar with him.
He is very, very good. And obviously, Liquid do have the AWP in the form of Nitro, and Twist picks it up. They will go for the double AWP setup here eventually, but Cirque might be able to manhandle them if they're having a slow start.
The last time I saw NRG actually was with Cirque, and it was in Toronto when I did the North American minor leading into Atlanta. So it was the end of last year. I want to say November, December. Somewhere in that realm. And Cirque was impressive. The other player that they had at the time then was Ange, who's the Danish player who's now gone back to Denmark, and they brought in Ethan. So bit of a change, but NRG looked impressive at that event and actually had a chance, I thought, to be an upset and make it potentially into the major qualifier, which turned out to be the major again with the whole change in format.
Yeah, Ethan's actually really sick. Watch out for him. He'll be doing a lot of damage here. But here we go. It will be live. Best of 3. Swiss format. It always is a lot of fun. Takes a while, but it's certainly worth it. It's going to be round number 1, like we said. Liquid starting on the T side here. They're going to be purchasing up with the smokes, the flashbangs. They've got 1 Molotov, presumably an A side attack with the smoke going towards the highway, Molotov towards the quad, or MBK flash in, going as a 5, couple towards the door. Nafly has got the P250 armor combo. We're seeing a lot more of that these days. 1 kit for Daps, and he's got the smoke as well for the defuse. And indeed, they will start heading towards the A side of the map. Nitro to go towards the door. Daps will be holding towards middle for any players boosted up, seeing if he can get that first pick. But for now, rotating in towards A. It's actually a little 4-man stack from the CTs here, as we'll get into the action. I'm sure the sound will be coming any second now. It's part of the build-up.
I'm waiting for it. Nitro's going to get toward the blue door. So rather than playing the retake, NRG is going to put 3 men directly inside of the site, Cirque included, 2 behind, as they can go, Fugly and Ethan, behind quad. Rotation required from Breezy as he gets the backside of B. So retake B, which is peculiar. Again, it's a tougher site to get back into for the CTs. You certainly have to accomplish getting middle at the very least, or go for a flank rotation. 3 out of A, you can definitely do that if you push through A main and get out toward B tunnels quick enough. But that's all reactionary. Fortunate for them, Bomb does lead toward the A site. And again, with Elige, or rather, excuse me, with Nitro out watching the door, they'll be able to work a somewhat set piece. Hard to say that when you don't have a lot of utility on a pistol round. They do have the 1 smoke, as well as Nitro getting ready with the Molotov. Aside from that, just a few flashes to deter and confuse on entry. Single smoke for NRG as well to defend. That's in the hands of Daps. He with the kit. And he'll play back toward the truck. Doesn't get that smoke out in time, or at least not to deter the entry. They're already inside of the site. Good smoke to cover off highway if anyone wants to rotate a twist on entry, but it's Ethan to step up in return. Finds 1 immediately. Second walked into the same position. They couldn't quite get the trade. Nitro thankfully gets the kill onto Ethan because his teammate, Elige, was actually swapping pistols and could have been caught off defenseless as Daps now sits well out, and they have to go for the retake on A despite setting up for the opposing strategy.
Well, they have got that 1 smoke. It's up to Breezy and Daps now, but this looks almost impossible. There's still a bit of utility for Liquid here. They've got the crossfire set up. P250 in hand. Naf can actually joust a little bit here. Doesn't have to just hide. He can even go down if required. It's going to be Breezy get that first kill. 3 versus 2 now. The defuse not really possible at this point. Can Breezy find a few consolation frags? He might just want to consider saving the armor at this point. Take as many players down as he can. There's the first, but can't win the round. Taka to finish things off. Nice play by Liquid. Slow default to kick things off. Wait for that aggression to come in. And like we said, that A execution, very likely. A lot of teams using that 1 smoke towards the highway. Right at the top. Molotov towards the forklift, in fact. I thought it'd be towards quad, but towards the forklift. Then they can focus towards that quad area, and he saw what Twist did with the Glock. As soon as he gets in, 2 quick headshots, even though the 4-man stack, NRG just collapse. And you can see we've got some new fancy additions here to the stream. Some augmented reality there. It's pretty cool. And there won't be force buy from NRG. They'll be taking the more conservative approach, getting those deagles out. See, a lot of teams do this. It's the idea of it being a very long-range map. If you're going to find 1 deags, you're going to do it without taking damage anyway. So you might as well save the cash, allow yourself to get the AWPs. And I always recommend that, especially the underdog team. You don't want to cripple yourself financially before the game starts. Make sure you're winning rounds with all the utility and the AWP, which you're going to require.
Yeah, doubly so on the CT side. You don't get a chance for bomb bonus. Guns are a little more expensive. You have always. Are you still teaching Economy 101?
I think most people completed the course now. Teams are starting to listen.
I enrolled, or tried to. I applied, and I got actually refused.
Well, it is a very exclusive club, and there it is. It's going to be Nafad open things up with the Galil. Remember, they've got no head armor, so he's going to do a lot of damage here, but so's Breezy. That Desert Eagle certainly connects. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to find those 1 digs. It doesn't matter what you've got on your chest, as Daps now will be holding up on the side. Does manage to make that P250 work. 2 versus 2 now. This is actually possible, but maybe not anymore. They know exactly where Daps is, and it will be a round victory for Liquid. But 3 players did go down, and they both had 2 very low HP players.
Yeah, 15 and 7. You say 2 players went down. That could have gone the other way. The fact that that additional damage came in on Naf from Breezy before he fell was pretty significant. More so because Breezy dropped the bomb on the first shot, the first kill. So they get a little bit chaotic inside of the site. Second round goes to Liquid, though, in the end. And a little bit of reinvestment, as you say. They'll go to 4 SMGs.
Well, there we
go.
This is looking to be a very interesting bonus round up next. So they come in with 4 SMGs, 3 of which are Mac 10s. A little bit of investment from NRG, the CZ, the PT50, but shouldn't be much of a defense here. Naflight probably goes down eventually. There it is. Ethan will find him, but it'll be an A stack at this point. Run it in with those Mac 10s, farm all the cash. That's maybe to get 1 kill, but it's over very quickly indeed, and it will be 3 SMGs going to the next round. That suggests maybe a fast mid split towards B, and you're hoping you can find players without helmets here. There'll be 3 of them, so these Mac 10s can cause some damage. Looks like one of the Mac 10s have been upgraded though. It's just going to be Taco and Nitro with the SMGs for now. What will Naf go with? It's going to be the AK. So they're going to throw one of those away, and here we go, the first gun round. As we mentioned, Cirque going to be a thorn in their side. As Taco might be upgrading as well. He does. He throws away a UMP, which I find surprising. Surely the Mac 10 goes first.
Nitro with it. Naf's going to get the opening kill, though. Fast. Daps responds. Couldn't quite get him fast enough on the angle to protect Breezy, but a good assertive play nonetheless with the AK.
Yeah, gives him the 4-on-4, which definitely favors the T side here. That early on especially, you can just bleed out the CTs with the utility. There'll be a smoke towards the connector right there. At least you'll be boosted up and he'll try and work that next pick. Going to be Molotoving beneath the boost just to make sure there's no players beneath and that can cause a little bit of an uncomfortable situation. And now Twist waiting for that reaction. It does come through, and they'll take down Daps, and they've got mid control. Molotov down. A reaction has to come through from a CT here. Ethan has to push towards A main or something like that. He needs to get some intel. Something has to happen. And in he comes, and he does spot a couple here. Incendiary does hold them at bay, though. He can't work a frag from that. He's going to try and reposition.
Nade out toward main. Ethan burning still, even with that smoke down on his right. It didn't extinguish the flames. He had to climb on top of the forklift, but the amount of damage he took made it all too easy for Elige, who seemingly threw that Molotov because no assist on it. He finishes his own work. Fugly is going to have to finish off the round at all, if at all, for NRG as he tried to sneak inside of the smoke. They'd already gone behind. Nitro closes it. 4-0 Liquid. First gun as well. And back foot already for NRG as they sit to pistols once more.
Yeah, Money's starting to get in a very comfortable position here, especially with NRG facing an eco at this point. They can take a partial buy with the maximum loss bonus into the next round, meaning they can get Deagles, PT50, some armor as well, maybe some basic utility. These sort of rounds, you want to maybe go for a B push or a B stack, maybe send someone towards Squeaky Door, try and get an AK. You don't really want to sit back in a default formation. We'll see what they go for here. They are thinking about sending 3 players towards middle, but it does look quite standard. Fugly towards the checkers, and Cirque will be with him. They're not going to be really presenting anything different. There are a few more players towards middle now. You can see them actually challenging that. This could work out for the CTs. Going to need some luck with the Deagles here, but smoked out for now. And it's going to be the first frag for Liquid, almost certainly. Taco to take down Breezy. And with the bomb down, they don't have to rush into any pushes here. But what a shot that is from Ethan. He is incredibly skilled. Watch out for him causing more damage like that as the game progresses.
Elige even had his crosshair placement on that gap.
Yeah.
Just couldn't quite see it through the flames, but what a shot, Ethan. Daps ready to flash for Fugly inside of B. I would say the last line of defense is the only line of defense so far in B, and the last would be the rotation. Fugly peeks, they're already inside of the site. No information yet because he didn't quite spot the fact that Naf and Twist were working in. He doesn't matter. He gets the flash when needed, gets the Deagle in position, finds the shot, and it's actually the man advantage early on, or early on enough, for NRG. Unfortunately, with rifles versus pistols, it all goes the other way. Naf the one to step up in doing so. 2 quick kills for him. He's been impressive as of late.
Yeah, he really
I would say for the last 8 months, he's been impressive.
Yeah, he's really a fantastic player. One of my favorites to watch. I love watching him in certain situations. You can see his thought process as he goes along, and every decision seems to be almost spot on. The aim's there. It's just a great overall package as he finds a few kills into this round. It will just be Ethan to try and save the AK, which is looking quite likely at this point. He's got 12 HP. Behind by the forklift, doesn't need to hunt for any frags. He knows the money's strong there anyway. 1 or 2 kills wouldn't do that much for them either way. So him having the AK into the next round with the smoke as well, definitely worth saving. You see Cirque there, we called him out to be instrumental in this first half on 0 and 5. It's still very early on in the half though. They can still come back and win 10-5. So we're not going to get too carried away, but it is a very promising start for Liquid here on NRG's pick, which does not bode well for the second map. As we progress, you might see the double orb set up here. We will see NRG with the opportunity to buy the orb. It'll be Cirque to bring it out, and he'll be the only one to do so. Breezy will be given the AK-47. So no tactical timeout just yet. NRG confident with their setup. They have been a little bit unlucky, but we'll see what happens here. Round number 6, do Liquid change the pace? Time will tell. I'd suggest just keep running that default. They're going to be playing with 5 rifles here. They won't bring out the orb until it's really required.
Daps again will cover off middle. Silenced M4 to note. two of them. Fugly using the other. Liquid just trying to solve the fact that the guns are back up by getting information. Perhaps an early smoke from Twist. That'll be toward the top of Highway, limiting Dap's ability for rotation. Elige is boosted. He's been waiting. In fact, he'll put that smoke toward the top of Highway instead. So the second one's going to bounce a little bit further, cover off toward the truck. This will be an A hit. Elige to watch for the rotations. Daps smartly doesn't want to contest. He knows that he smoked off toward the top of Highway. He might as well rotate toward the truck and be in a better position to enter the site. Not get caught off by that last line of lurk, if you will, for Elige. Twist, good find again. Wraps around the site. They're limited entirely. They're going to have to save.
Yeah, you could see how stifling those smokes are. So perfectly played there from Liquid. Smokes towards Highway, Spawn, and even the right-hand side. The CTs don't even have an access point towards the bomb site. Every shot just perfect. Naf from the squeaky door once again. Twist makes his way towards the site, and you can see the flashbangs perfect. The coordination's there. And this is why Liquid are considered the favourites going into this matchup. There's such a great overall package here. Fugly, the last player remaining, but they know exactly where he is. He won't be surviving this one, I don't think, as he knows he's got a challenge. He'll go towards CT Spawn and somehow get both. So at least keeps them relatively modest, but at this point doesn't really matter. Taco with $11,000, Nitro 8K, same story for Twist. And in terms of the cash for the CTs, still riding the coattails of that maximum loss bonus. With a player saving the 8K in the previous round, they probably can buy into this one, but they'll have to take a pause and just discuss their options. As you can see, Cirque still down at 0-6.
Only had the op that one round. The previous didn't get anything done with it.
Yeah, not really going too well for him so far, but Liquid is playing a perfect game of CS. So the calls they're making, the timing's been very good, the shots are there. This is not a slow start for them. This is absolutely perfect.
Sean.
Yeah,
Flaren baited you on that one.
But
if Flaren was here and said it, it would have happened.
It's true. He knows what he's talking about.
Exactly.
But we'll get into the next one and have a look at the scoreboard for Liquid as well. Nitro and Twist at the very top. It looks like everyone's contributing really. 6-6 for Taco and Nafly Elige at the bottom of 3-3, but they haven't lost a round yet. Does not matter. It will just be the partial buy. NRG certainly had enough to buy. They could have got 5 rifles, one of which probably a FAMAS, but they'll go for the CZs instead. The Deagles, they've got an HE stack available to them. They'll probably throw it towards a boost or something, I'd imagine. They've actually got only one player there, so maybe not. It's a very standard formation, 2-on-2, with Daps patrolling towards middle, but we do know they're handy with the Deagles. There's every chance they can pull this one off.
So Daps Deagle holds off in middle. Two North American teams playing in the early hours remind you of this event. It's currently 3:30 a.m. Eastern. Not to give jet lag to the excuse, I did see NRG up and looking energetic, and certainly Liquid's awake in this game, but interesting to note, travel's always a factor. As Twist will work back in, bomb in hand, Nitro turned back, so pretty standard formation. One to avoid the flash turn against it, and Twist, if he's flashed off, will be protected therefore by Nitro, and vice versa.
40 seconds, another A execution here. Breezy feeling the heat as that Molotov does flush him out of position towards the forklift. Out to Ethan now, only got the P250. Remember, no armor as well, so I don't see there's any chance for NRG here. They have managed to find one kill in the form of Elige, but the bomb's going to be planted now, and that's when the round really is over. As Nafly with the perfect position, just waiting for them, toying with them. As he waits for his chance to strike, he'll get both of these kills. Lovely positioning, and it will be 7-0 in favor of Team Liquid here. Not over, but need to start posting some rounds. And as I always say, while casting, when you're a little bit desperate, you need to change things up. The double orb setup comes out for the first time. Will be Ethan and Cirque to rock the AWPs. Quite the formidable duo. And we'll hope that Cirque can start showing us what he's made of so far. As I take another tactical timeout here. It's actually Team Liquid who are using a technical. Their headset having some issues. I've never known a game such as Counter-Strike just to have as many microphone or headset issues. It's unbelievable. But here we are again.
Tell me more, Henry.
I've been playing CS for, what, 15 years? I've never had a headset issue. I don't think I've ever had to stop a game and my headset stopped working.
Did you play, I know you played a lot of LANs, but did you play with a similar setup of in-ear, over-ear?
I guess that's maybe the issue.
Although they're not actually wearing in-ears here. They're actually just wearing the HyperX because we're not in the auditorium and there's no crowd.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, it's like normally a USB headset at HyperX. You think that just plugs in. Never had an issue with it. But every game we seem to have one. But
I actually
I guess it's more to do with
prefer-
the coaches, you know, that
Sure.
because they have to be muted. I guess that's probably what sometimes they get the wrong mute or something like that. Something goes on.
Yeah, there are some intricacies as well in playing on obviously a different computer that's not always. You say USB. Some of the ports have issues, and I actually run my HyperX strictly to go into the audio port to the USB adapter. Sorry, the adapter the card that comes with it. I don't know what the Alpha runs. I know the Cloud 2 runs the mid adapter, right? So you can run it either way.
Well, back into the action. The technical issue has been resolved. This is the first game of the day. We're probably right on schedule, and this one looks like it might be a quick one. We'll see. As the double orb set up out, and we'll have a look as to how it's positioned. It will be Cirque in the back of the B bomb site, Ethan holding A alone. He's just going to sit on the corner by the car in CT. And it's going to be a very slow, methodical default here from Liquid. Just seeing if NRG have changed things up. Have they gone for a bit of an exploration towards the B storage area, for example? Twist holding very passively towards the sunroom. 1 minute 15 remaining, and still with the majority of their utility, Liquid start to probe towards middle. It's a lead lining up the smoke for the connector. They'll probably deploy that any second now and take Daps out of the equation. We'll leave Breezy towards the short box, but I believe Fugly's in the vents right now, so they have got a lot of mid presence at this point. Problem is, Fugly more than likely to be Molotov'd out, but there's no one positioned right now to throw that, so maybe he'll be okay.
So Alige and Naf waiting this time. They will take mid. Good Molotovs to cover off all the close angles. They time it so that they've extinguished as they drop in, and Alige dropping out of the pipe finds Fugly with a very crisp headshot toward the vent. Breezy playing the side angle on the box. Will at least get one in return. Shadow shows he's able to spot down Alige as well. Has to watch his back toward the A site because no one directly there to cover him off. The closest inside of A is actually Ethan. I almost called him Nath to get everyone going, but back toward the truck. So good awareness from Breezy to work back up and keep himself alive. Self-preservation, and he's actually gone further than that. He'll go through the vent. Cirque takes the kill out from underneath him. Good for him to get on the board with the AWP, but it's down to Taco and finally around for NRG.
Yeah, well, Taco, I was about to say he needs to find as many kills as possible, but the time's about to run out, so he'll get nothing for it. Much better. Double orb setup works quite nicely there. Cirque, like you said, getting a couple of frags on the board. That's going to boost his confidence somewhat. But that was all Breezy for me. They lost the first kill in the form of Fugly towards the vents. I thought that was going to be the round over and snowball out of control. But they managed to bounce back. It was Breezy who manages to get good timing towards middle and didn't even panic when he got fully flashed towards that white box. I thought that's when he was done for. If he fired off some shots or knifed out and made some noise, he would have been taken down. But he was patient, got the first kill, nailed the second, and in towards B, he funneled them. And that's where Cirque was able to find a couple of kills and close out the round. Unfortunately for them, though, probably still plenty of money here for the Liquid side, and they will get that opening pick. That's Naf, who was towards that B storage area. Takes down the AWP, and he can almost guarantee the B side's open, but no. Fugly is there and trying to fight back.
Interesting that Twist has actually gone all the way in the site. Instead of taking the fight, that's caught Fugly off. Because he would have expected to see him in the doorway or thereabout. He thought about flashing himself out, which is always awkward in that situation when you know you don't have anyone else to play off of. And the fact that Twist went by the door, I think Fugly checked the angle, wasn't blind, thought it was clear, and Twist backed out. But well done from Fugly to at least get the start. Unfortunately, no one else directly inside of the site to work against the bomb that is now planted. Alige will cover off the vent. This will be a reset as well, keep in mind. And yes, Taco did fail to get any further kills due to the time last round, but it's still significant nonetheless.
Well, here we go. The opportunity to save. Ethan and Breezy will do whatever they can. It is quite the harsh reset. But they did keep 4 players up before, so if they save 2 of these weapons, they can probably get weapons out for the next round. That's if both of them save. We'll have a look as to whether the terrorists are hunting. A Legion towards Sunroom, Nitro and Twist and CT Spawn. So both CTs will keep their weapons, one of which is the AWP, but another very solid round there. It was Naf that opened things up, took down the AWP of Cirque towards B, actually outdueled him with the AK, and then Twist going down in an equal sort of fashion to Twist there. So it will be up to NRG now. Do they force buy into this one? We'll have a look. They certainly will. I think they need the rounds at this point. They save the AWP and the AK. They'll take another tactical timeout. They know this is a big moment for them. If they can pull this round off, they're still in this game. Lose it, it's probably going to be a landslide for Liquid. There will be a double eco scenario if this one goes against them. So AWP is Cirque. We'll have a look at his spawn. That's always quite important on Cash. He's actually got probably the worst spawn you could probably hope for. The reason I point that out is because, like we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Cash has the opportunity for AWP to go towards Squeaky Door, A main, B storage, go for that quick pick, and then fall back. If your AWP's got the worst spawn, though, he pretty much has to go towards middle or a defensive hold at the B side. We'll see what he goes for here as the unpause comes in. Still no AWP for Liquid. That's been such a talking point about them. The fact they don't have an AWP per se. They do have Nitro can pick it up and be quite handy with it, but they don't rely on it, I guess is the headline.
There used to be a lot more teams that played that style. We used to see NIP for a long time did not have a designated opper.
Yeah, when Pitts was in the lineup.
Pitt was in the lineup.
Yeah,
you could
Forrest would do
even
that.
you could even go back to the Flaren days and say that they didn't really have a hard designated opper.
Sure.
And then conversely, you have lots of teams that have double ops, or Fnatic's case for a long time. Everyone tried out the op situationally. Meta goes in circles. But it depends on the tools and how you utilize them. As Elige again boosted up, they'll sit back passively, minute 22, so we're pretty early on. Trying to bleed the CTs of utility. A good amount of cans with fire in them, but only one smoke left on the CT side.
Well, they've lost mid control, at least for now. Looks like they'll be going for the retake here. From what I can see, it'll be Daps and Breezy to challenge. Yeah, I've got Fugly there as well. As the flashbang comes in, they're trying to find any terrorists on the other side, focusing towards Naf, but that's a bad idea. He is just eviscerating everyone in his crosshair right now. Oh, gets another. He is looking absolutely pitch perfect today as he makes it a 5-on-3 single-handedly. And Fugly, make it Ethan now, will be getting a double kill. That's towards A, and that's the bomb dropped, and he's got control of Squeaky Door. So he finds him a lifeline here. Is it going to be enough?
Good shot, Fugly. Catching off Naf, just sneaking inside of the smoke. That gives Ethan the re-entrance to the site. Well played from the door. He'll take down Elige. And this is brought to a one-on-one. Bomb down by Quad. Ethan limited, however. That allows Twist, knowing exactly where he is, to get the bomb, go for the plant. He'll go far away from default as well because he wants Ethan inside of the site. Good read, good fake. And Twist knew he had to come out from the doorway.
Yeah, that's two very high skill players, snappy aimers going at it 1 versus 1. Came down to the mind games there, and unfortunately for Ethan, Twist has come out on trumps every single time. That was fantastic by him. Great play with the plant. Yes, you saw it, baited him out perfectly. You can plant at the very edge of that bomb side box, so use that to his advantage. Peeked around the corner, Ethan didn't see it coming, and that's the nightmare scenario for NRG. Has to be the full eco now. Very close round, but not quite close enough, I'm afraid. As Breezy will be onto the Deagle. They've got a PT-50. This is pretty much a gimme for Liquid. As they can just hold up and play a very slow round here. If there's any chance of NRG winning this, it comes down to this interaction here. But the Molotov holds them off, and they'll just have to play defensively on the A side.
So Economy, arch nemesis to NRG in the first half. Elige having a good time. Shooting gallery, finds 2. Couldn't quite line up the third headshot. Got overwhelmed. Fugly hit a well-placed bullet from the P250. He's done that again to find Taco, but Naf is controlling the situation for the bottom side of middle. It's just Daps to find, and he's getting warmer. We'll see if he gets found by Naf, who could get the hat trick. I suspect that, the flash could catch him off, though, because he's going to overlook that position now, but it is a pistol, and Naf does look back to check the last little corner, which was left open.
The thing is, NRG aren't doing anything necessarily wrong. It's just the aim is off the scale right now for Liquid. Just the individual prowess is just remarkable. Naf, especially, just completely controlling middle alone. You don't really see many players doing that sort of damage consistently, finding ones who kills every single time. Wherever he's going, he's opening things up. NRG can try and react, but the only successful round they've had so far is the double orb setup, and their finances just don't lend themselves towards that sort of positioning right now. They have to go for the single orb, no kits, limited utility at best, as Team Liquid has had full control this half right now. 10 rounds is good enough already. Anything at this point is complete bonus. I've got a feeling they're going to get at least 12. So Nitro boosted up for now on that white truck. A position we're seeing come back into fashion. It kind of dropped off for a while. Like 2015, it was very
everywhere.
prevalent, right?
Yep.
You always see loads of picks, and it just went off completely.
iBuyPower used to use it a ton back in the day. Speaking of 2015. But you're right, it's situational based on white box and who's crossing in middle, but it'll get you.
Oh, here's Ethan boosted up. A vulnerable position, but good to throw in once a half. Nitro smoked out for now. CT threw that smoke to get the boost in place, and now Nitro just being a little bit more tentative. As
That's annoying.
Yeah, his whole team goes across there, guys.
One guy gets out of the way, the other one's there.
Yeah.
Just 2 backsides to look at. How am I supposed to hit the shot through both of you?
It's going to be another A attack, and this has been a nightmare so far for NRG. The A bomb site getting completely wrecked, but Ethan has found that first pick.
He got off the boost as well. That
Yeah.
didn't come from a boost and a drop. He was on an open angle from fence. Cirque still watching toward highway. He'll rely on Ethan and Barisi to cover him off when they wrap in. Smoke toward the forklift. Taco still considers the boost as a possibility, but while this all transpires, the option and availability of going toward B becomes a promise, as it's Daps to flash for Fugly once more. We saw this when they were on pistols. Fugly goes early. Unfortunately, it leaves him open. Does get naffed, so fair enough. The play works out, but it leaves him in the open when the flash went off, so he couldn't re-peek for the second kill, and that's going to cost them in the end. Fugly down. Daps as well. Breezy's on rotation. Low HP enough on Elise. Tries to react to Taco. He gets traded out by Ethan. It's all on to Twist. 12 HP. Backside of the site. They know exactly where he is, and they'll line up and trade off of it.
Fortunately, only one player survives, so yes, they win the round, but at what cost? This is going to be very difficult to recover. But Ethan, playing so well right now, doing everything he can for this team. 3 frags in the round, managed to trade it out efficiently there towards the end. Bomb went down about half a second to spare. So NRG going to be a little bit frustrated. It did. Plenty of money for Team Liquid, though. If you lose this round, it's going to be a 13-2 half. NRG have to win out at this point. 3 rounds to go. They need all of them. And they might not be able to get 5 rifles here. The AWP was saved. That's given to Cirque, of course, but there's the MP9 for Daps, a FAMAS for Breezy, so definitely some compromises being made here. Daps focusing on the utility instead of the firepower here. But as I said, just to reiterate, this is a must-win round. Otherwise, this game is not winnable for NRG. 10-5, certainly recoverable. 13-2, probably not.
Taps forward and middle with the MP9. Good lineup from Nap over the smoke, and then they bust in. You're right. NRG's not doing anything fundamentally wrong. Liquid is just bullying them at every chance they get.
Oh, well, Cirque had to hit that shot. Now they know exactly where he is. He'll probably get one, but he's going to be traded out very quickly as they get closer and closer. There's the 1 kill, and that will be it. That's the round done. Ethan's got no business even trying to go for this one. That's going to be a full reset. They get $1,400 on top of their 0 right now. He just needs to save the M4. They'll force up around it. Hope for the best. It'll be Deagles and the M4A4. Really not ideal, but still a possible round if they save this rifle. Ethan showed he is capable of winning rounds single-handedly. I'm going to sneeze him out, so please take over.
You're excused. And bless you for whatever that is worth. What, being blessed or the sneeze?
The sneeze. I'm
Look at the
blessed.
light. Look at the
I
light.
tried. I think that's just, by the way, people say that. It's just
that works for me.
Your nose goes up in the air and more dust.
It's possible, yeah, maybe.
But it is quite a nice
It does work,
thought.
whatever the reasoning is. I like how you wanted me to take over for you sneezing, and instead we just talked about you sneezing. Twist will take down Ethan. There wasn't really much going on. It was just a matter of finding the last player. 11-2 for Liquid. They're cruising.
Yeah, you have to force buy here, though, unfortunately, for NRG. It's such a difficult time to do that. 11-2 down, you've got to buy up with CZs and armor. That's pretty much all you can do. Cirque will save a bit of extra money. I say that goes for the scouts instead. They're going all in. They need to win rounds, so they know it. And Liquid certainly not off to a slow start here. NRG can't post consecutive rounds. They're looking quite flat, and Liquid anything but. Every shot they're going for is connecting. And this is why these guys are in the Pro League finals, grand final. Absolutely fantastic team, getting stronger and stronger. Great coach behind them as well. And when you've got so much firepower, good fundamentals, you're going to reap the rewards, as Liquid just showing why they're considered the best in North America right now. Scouts, CZ, the Eagles could take an amazing play here from Fugly to get this first frag. Flashbang's decent. I don't think it's good for 2, though. Does get away. The smoke's going to give him a little bit of a retreat plan here, and I think that's a wise move. Just fall back, but they have managed to find a couple of kills here. It's certainly possible this round now, with Taco tagged up as well.
Tagged indeed. Fugly CZ 75. Ethan's going to find Taco. This has gone very, very well for NRG.
Still recoverable, though, with the minute on the clock. NAF and Nitro.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, it's going to be an
Some skill there.
round. Yep.
With AKs. And importantly, together in a workable situation as well.
At this point, if you're NRG, just play those real horrible positions. Tuck yourself in wherever you can. Just aim for this 1 kill. If you get that with the manpower you have, you should win the round. Daps looking to challenge here. This could be his unraveling, but he'll be fine for now. Smoke towards connector. Cirque has only got the scout. That's not an AWP. As he holds up, has to get a headshot here. Tag probably not good enough. He'll go for it. There's the tag, but not the kill just yet.
You're right in saying it's probably not good enough, but it certainly helps the pistols close out the kills. Daps as well has an AK picked up. Nitro takes him down. AK available for Cirque. He'll swap over to it. Daps exposed. And with 6 seconds, he was committed to the plant. A good win from NRG.
Yeah, I thought for a second that was going to fall apart, but yes, absolutely so. Good flashbangs. Nice work from Fugly to get that first kill. The lead got dropped towards middle. A lifeline for NRG. They can pick up this last round. Not all is lost. I thought that one was a given for Team Liquid there, but they do drop it. It'll be the final round here, number 15 of the first half of this best of 3. This is NRG's pick. And as you can see, it's not really going too well for them. They'll have AKs for Masses, no AWP for the final round. We'll have a look at the scoreboard while we're here. Daps and Cirque both from 4 frags. Ethan, no surprise, at the top with 12. And looking at the Liquid side, Naf, of course, 16 kills for him. Playing an absolutely perfect game of CS so far.
Twist. Just going to hang out toward B. Actually took the shot lined up perfectly with the X-ray. It was the second player who was back toward B tunnels, so that wouldn't have actually done any damage. Don't think it would have hit the garage. I think one bullet may have. But they walked out in front of it. It was Fugly that nearly lost his life for doing so. Cirque makes up for it, goes out down to 17 HP, but they get the opening pick, importantly, and it is Naf that they find. So you praise him, Henry, but you've actually made him a marked man.
Well, he's inflicted some damage.
You're like the Midas touch, except you're the opposite.
Yeah, just ruin his day.
Yeah, what, like you turn it to like ash instead of gold.
Nitro, this looks like a little interesting Molotov off the rim there. It will be very successful, as you can see. Cirque didn't see that coming. Fugly probably gets one here, not even that. This is looking like a great recovery, as once again, they're absolutely stellar with the AK-47s. That's round over. Bomb will be planted, 30 seconds, no chance to save here, but Daps and Breezy will do what they can. They've got a kit, but it's going to take something absolutely magical to pull this one back.
That is a pretty cool Molotov. Flash in on top of it as well, and it is one of the most uncommonly not Molotov spawn, I guess I'm trying to say. This is the hardest position to hit with that Molotov, so good riddle to solve as he finds an angle off that pillar, the light pole, I believe it is. And it all works out. It's a 12-3 at the half for Liquid, so not so sleepy, not so slow in their opening game. Taco's chilling. He's got his hat on. Allowed at this event, obviously.
Yeah.
There's not a sound issue where they're out in an auditorium in which there's no voices from us and no crowd.
No,
so.
on the other side of a huge room. It's much bigger than
multiple rooms, yeah. Oh, you mean them situations from each other? Yes,
right now, and then they can't hear us at all. There's no live crowd here till Friday, I believe. So we're not even here. We're going to the actual arena.
Oh, we are this time, are we? Last time, this whole format, we started on Saturday, so 2 days earlier. Yeah. It gave us a day off on Friday, and it gave us a whole separate day from the grand finals, which they put in a third and fourth, with the lack of 2 days, which was due to the Champions League, by the way.
Sure.
The decider match is before the finals, but interesting we're going to the arena. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know we were.
Yes, indeed we are.
Is it the same?
It's the same one as the Dota Major, I've been told. So
okay, that's different than the auditorium I think we typically use, or the theater, I suppose it is.
Well, here we go. It will be the first half, and it's a must-win situation for NRG on the T side. They've got one Molotov, no upgraded pistols, a couple of flashbangs, 4 sets of armor. Nitro using the safe shoulder peek just to get some information there. And it will be an A-side attack. 3 players towards the door. No smoke for highway. It'll just be brute force. Molotov towards quad or forklift. We'll see which way they're inclined. Nitro to defend. He is backed up, though. As they commit, he will find the first shot and drop the bomb. But Nitro in a lot of trouble now.
A lot of trouble, but still surviving. Taco helping him out, taking down Breezy and Cirque. Fugly, I was going to say last alive. Hits a beautiful shot onto Nitro, but gets taken down immediately after. Bomb was dropped in the process of entry, so that would have made things awkward either way if he had the bomb. Taco left late. Or rather, excuse me. It was Daps. Who was that left late? My memory's gone. Either way, if they had the bomb toward the end of that, it might have worked out for them, but not to be. I think it was Fugly. It was Fugly. I'm still around. I'm still here.
CZs, PD50s.
They're still here. That's something that hasn't changed.
Who?
The CZs.
Oh yeah, trust me, they haven't gone anywhere since you've been away. They've got stronger, if anything. It's been pretty unbelievable the things they've been doing. The unspeakable kills and rounds that have been gathered from the CZ75. $500. The best money you'll ever spend. Most efficient money. Deadliest money.
It's not even real money. That's the best part.
Yeah. Oof.
Good shot, Taco. Run and gun. He's got to fight himself out of the corner. Trapped. Pinched by both. Once the headshot behind the box, that allows Breezy finally to get back in. I thought he was going to go quicker than that, to be honest. But it does bring us to a 3-3 situation. Elise slipping in. Blinded, but he had the lineup. He had the angle and spotted a foot just before his vision was gone. Fortunate for him that the second player walked out, but Breezy's left in a 1 versus 3 with Liquid winning both pistols. And the scoreline as it is, we're not far from the end of this game, and we'll move on to map 2.
I think we almost certainly are. There has to be another force by here. Unfortunately for NRG, this wasn't the game we were hoping for. The inaugural game of this tournament hasn't really warmed up just yet. The map let us down a bit, but map number 2, I think, is Inferno. Certainly should. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We'll see as the game progresses. It will be Twist there, shutting it all down. And here we go. Will there be the force buy? It will. I think it has to be this one. You can't go 15-3 down. CZ's, Deagles, and Samama. They've got some smokes. Actually not too bad. CZ on the T side, though, not as exciting as on the CT side. We'll see whether they can get rolling here to the tactical timeout with the last one. And here we go. We're underway. Smokes, flashbangs, 1 Molotov up against the 4 rifles of Liquid. No messing around here. Might as well just get to map points as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Get it over with. Move on. As you say, Inferno comes up next.
Here we go. The fast play. Drop the utility. Eradicate as many risks as he can, but he can't avoid the bullets. It will be Ali spraying towards the boost position. It'll only be good for 1, though, so they do pick up a rifle. Will that snowball? This kill is probably indicative of that. They're going to get the second, so there's a chance now. A must-win round for NRG is looking quite successful.
Wow.
Ethan, so skilled.
I don't know why Taco pushes that smoke.
Yeah, I don't know either, but Naf still with a chance of winning this one. Oh, he almost hits that shot. That nade could do it. Be very close, not quite. It's actually quite a smart plan from Dapstep, as it will be Fugly to close things out. There we go. NRG still in the game. CZ's Deagles works out for them. Liquid maybe not necessarily expecting all that.
Keep in mind as well, Fugly and Daps no strangers to each other. In fact, no strangers to the Team Liquid organization as well. If you go back to Denial, end of 2014, which eventually became Liquid. Daps was the in-game leader at the time. Fugly was on that team as well. Nafly actually was on that Denial roster. Never really played for Liquid until much later on, but
yep.
There's a lot of history between these two. And Daps and Fugly together with that familiarity able to pull off the round. I don't know what Taka was doing through that smoke, but a good round and good win from Breezy inside of middle.
A chance to get back into the game. It'll have to be perfect at this point from NRG, but up against the force by now. It will be CZs and 1 M4A4. We'll see whether these smokes can hold off the Ts for the maximum possible time to allow them to get some intel here. It's going to be Taka trying to push towards B storage. 1-25, and you can see NRG being very cautious, not wanting to overcommit, using their Molotovs, their flashbangs to try and get a little bit of mid-control going here. There's actually very little presence towards middle from the CT, so they should be fine for that area. Bomber still down as they hold up. Daps just trying to work out what the next move will be.
Well, the first and foremost will be trying to spot that Nitro. Playing a cheeky angle, trying to catch him off when he goes in, and the right pistol to do it with. It's not the only pistol that has a version of rapid fire, but it's the only one that's viable. The Glock's burst mode is effectively useless.
Oh, this is not, though. Lovely stuff there from NRG, pushing towards B site, pincering from the vents and the main entrance, getting all the kills required. Liquid not fighting back whatsoever. Nitro and Twist just going to have to hold on to their CZ. So a few more twists and turns here on Cash. It's not going to be
Ooh, I like what you did there. Twists
simple. Yeah,
and
exactly.
turns.
Wasn't intentional, but it does work.
That's why I think that's why I pointed it out,
Yeah.
because it wasn't intentional.
Nitro holding towards the T-spawn area. So this is better from NRG. Might be too little too late. I'm not sure at this point, but it will be a full eco at least next round. Just trying to fight back. At this point, just take each round as it comes. When you get to double digits, that's when you start thinking, okay, this might be possible. But for now, it's just about getting warmed up in the environment. Obviously, the first time they've played it, wasn't the greatest first half, but every round you can get here, just get everyone confident, thinking about that next map. But at this point, just round by round, and keeping 5 players alive is a great start. Nitro and Twist might be able to survive here, we'll see. Certainly will. They'll be absolutely fine. Came close to it. Daps always found one, but should be the eco now. But the CZs are out. There's always a chance a couple of kills can come in.
Interesting scoreline just to note for Ethan, as well as Fugly. Fugly's not quite positive, 16 and 17, but 17 and 13. He's been efficient in not dying, and he's clearly getting a number of kills. Big discrepancy between the top and bottom, though, on NRG versus Liquid, which is a lot closer together.
Yeah, it was only really even fragging for the first 10 rounds or so. Then Fugly started to turn it up, so they're still in this game. Like we said, up against a full EQ here, should be quite an easy round for them. We'll see, though. USPs over Liquid. Could find a few dinks, you never know. They've actually pushed towards Squeaky Door quite efficiently. So Breezy will find them out, but can't find any damage, so they'll be falling back at this point.
He's desperate to have sunk a hook into his mouth and pulled him a little bit further because Twist is in the corner. And Breezy checks it. Smart to shoulder bait it, but doesn't get the kill. That'll allow Naf to come back out and support. They want that rifle. Twist has been able to pick it up at 6 HP. He might do better to just try and run and throw it as fast as he can toward that doorway, give Naf a chance to use it and run back to the site with it, because 3 players approaching. Even if he got 1, he was going down, and they won't get the gun as a result of it. They'll get toward the door. They'll take charge of the position they've gained and finding that equalizing kill, overlooking Elige, but he can't find the shot of the USP, nor too can Naf. Taco, a little bit better off, but for what? Bomb's going to go down inside of the A site. Fugly's already pushed forward to find Taco, and another round going the way of NRG. So very T-sided game in terms of where the rounds are being earned for either team.
Absolutely. They get a couple of kills here, maybe even a third. Nitro in a great position to take down Daps. Going to find him. AK recovered. So that bodes well for the next round. Like we said, the NRG is trying to make this a little bit more competitive overall. I don't think there's any chance of them getting back into it just yet, but it will be 1 kill for Nitro there. I can see a bit of fun coming in the team chat. Obviously, a bit of a North American derby here. Like you pointed out, a lot of these players kind of been in similar lineups before. They know each other very well, especially the likes of Daps, these guys. And he's calling them weasels. I think it's all very lovingly, though. It's going to be absolutely
I think
fine.
he's referring to a noise that he heard in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It said.
So apparently, when he got killed there by Nitro, he made a squeal reminiscent of a weasel. So
What, can you make a weasel noise? I don't know if I would have
I've never
known.
even met a weasel, so I don't know.
Never met a weasel.
Never had the
What do
pleasure.
you mean?
But
You met me years ago, Hank.
well, what's your noise then?
I'm surprised. That's why I'm asking why you said weasel. I wouldn't have known what noise a weasel makes off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't even know. I guess it looks kind of like a ferret, I guess, or
Yeah, they're a little bit similar. Groundhog, ferret, weasel. They're all in that same sort of size rodent. I think they're rodents.
yeah.
We should do some more homework on weasels, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it will be the first real gun round here. Can Liquid find map point? Time will tell. Fast approach, all 5 players towards B. Trying to shut down Naf. They certainly do that, but Taco, I sure can't get more than 1 kill here. That actually gets the double, so still a 3-on-3. Buys enough time. Bomb going to be planted at this point, but the retake begins. There is a kid available for Elige. Nitro coming here from heaven. Bomb to be planted, and he'll have to wait for his teammates to join him in his escapade towards the B bomb site, but a good Molotov. Maybe even a better HE grenade. That's going to land on both players here. Only going to hit Cirque, though, down to 81. Bomb ticking away at quite some speed now. They haven't really started their commitment towards the retake.
In fact, one of the definitions is actually a deceitful or treacherous person for weasel. So you have met me. See?
Yeah, there we go.
Good shot from Elige on entry. He'll go with Twist. They'll find Fugly, and now we get to map point for Liquid. 15 to 6. It took them a while to find it, but they get it. A small, slender, carnivorous,
Show me a
carnivorous
picture, press images.
mammal related to, why can't I say that word?
Oh, it's a
but
mammal?
smaller than the stoat. It is a mammal, so there it is. They're actually
Yeah,
kind
that's
of cute.
exactly what I thought it was like. It's,
Yeah, they've got longer, slouter neck. They're almost like a mink, I think, but a mink's probably more vicious.
Yeah.
And they're smaller than a mink.
15-6, back to the action. It will be the AWP for Cirque. They need 9 rounds in a row for overtime. Probably not going to happen, but let's see what they can do. Give us a sign of what's to come in the map number 2. Like you said, it's a map where all teams are pretty much comfortable, should still be very good, even though this one wasn't. And the analysts will be a little bit surprised with this result, considering NRG picked this one. And it's a map Liquid haven't really played too much recently, but it's been a very clinical performance so far. As Nitro will be holding the vents, he's got the AK in hand. Great weapon to have on the CT side especially, means you can hold more aggressive angles, get in their faces. And that's exactly what Twist will be looking to do here as he holds towards the forklift. Waiting for any sort of sound cue to get some intel here, but ace-head attack looking almost 100% at this point. It will be Breezy with the squeaky door control and Ethan with the first frag. This is looking like an NRG round. They're going to pounce on this as Nafly will be taken down. Elige to fight back here. Blind, of course, but still finding the kills. 3 versus 3. Can NRG hold on?
Legion Highway has to wait, slow for rotations. He's the closest to the site even still. What they're hoping for is that Taco can get position on the flank. And that's their entrance point. Breezy, the flash out, I thought was going to catch him off. His back might be slightly exposed. We've switched away from that angle. I think he moved in further behind Quad, but it might have given Taco a chance. If they even funnel him slightly, Taco might have gone for it. He's gone all the way back around instead, though, toward the door, and there's the back exposed as he gets out. Nitro finds the other. It's down to Cirque. AWP is going to have to step up now more than ever. And you're right, he was on the defuse. Nitro had the angle covered off. 16-6. Liquid will take map number 1.
Great performance in them. Very impressed. We were worried that their first game of the day could be a slow one, but it was anything but, Matt. High-flying antics from NAF and Nitro towards middle, just running around, just bullying NRG. They made them look very amateur indeed. It's actually Nitro and Taco that are the top fragging. So, like I said, Taco's proven himself to be a fantastic fragger, given the right responsibility. Been very impressed with him. And NRG, that's their map pick. And with the new coach and stuff, I'm not expecting him to do very well in this tournament. Maybe not the playoffs, but hopefully get a couple of maps in this sort of format. It was an entertaining second half. We did see NRG come back with the pistols, but unfortunately wasn't quite enough. It's a best of 3, though, and that's the best environment for these sort of teams. You can bounce back. Sure, you can have those rough first games, but that's where you get punished in best of 1 tournaments. They can recover this still.
It is a best of 3, but it's knives on every map, and I know Stunna, reaching for it, asked if that changes your opinion on anything.
So, guys, we found out the knife result. Does that change your prediction?
The only thing I will say is you're going to want the best start possible if Grand RNG moving on to Inferno. So the knife might have a little more emphasis on it, but you still have to play through it. It's not going to change, I think, the overall outcome. Maybe momentum.
Sure.
That's all I guess I'm trying to get at. But Inferno is the next playing field, and like you say, Liquid has looked very, very sharp so far.
They have, but it's a map everyone plays. But in terms of overall form, yeah, they're definitely the favourites to take this one 2-0, as they were coming into the best of 3 in general.
Yeah.
But there we go, Matt. That's going to be the first map done. We'll take a quick break and be back with the analyst and be back with Inferno as well.